guys, it's Rockstar1011 and I'm here to show you how to make a robe for 18-inch dolls or American girls. See, there's my German girl. And what you will need is a old robe or thick fleece, because yeah, that's what I'm using. A needle and thread, there's my needle, and of course you can use a sewing machine if you have one, but I do not have a sewing machine, my grandma does. So, okay, here we go. Well, first I started stitching up, I folded it down, started stitching up like that, but it didn't turn out the way I liked it. So then I just fabric glued it to this. It's nice fabric glue. Okay, I'll show you what it is. It is Scotch glue stick, permanent adhesive, whatever, for paper, photos, and fabric. That's what I use, and I'm really mad because of this. Not good, that little stitching thing right there, as you can see. That's not gonna look good on your doll. So first, what I did, after I cut the main part that wraps around your whole doll and glued it together, like that, I cut a piece of like the fleece and measured it around her arm to make sure it was the right size. And I cut the bottom part, so it's got the nice thick part that's already sewn, like all nice and thick like that, as you can see, because that's usually the part like of the end of our sleeves on our robes. So as you can see on this one, I already stitched it, and what I'm going to do with this one is fold it good side to good side, like that. And I'm going to poke it right through. Sorry, this is a thick Bargello needle. It's not one of those nice thin ones. And yes, you want nice, long string. So, poked it through. Now I'm going to poke it back through again. It doesn't have to go all the way through, like to stitch it. Just go back through again. Keep pulling until there's a nice small loop, like this. Put your needle through that loop. And, oh sorry, it's caught in the scissors. You have the first part of your knot. Now you're going to go right under that. Pull over again until you have that nice small part. Poke it through. Make sure that the thread is on top of it. So there, you just started it. And now I'm just going to sew back and forth. Sorry, it keeps getting caught on the scissors. Just like that. And keep doing it until you're right at, whoops, the very end, which is right here. That's the really thick part. So it might be, you might have a little trouble sewing that part. Okay, now that I've sewn the whole all the way up from the part that I started over here, this was pretty hard, and I locked my stitch. I went around twice, just like the beginning, but do not cut it off yet, or flip it over to the bad side part. Okay. So now, as I just did, I'm going to lay her right smack in the exact middle of your sheet, and make sure her shoulders are just a little bit lower than this part. Okay. So yes, I'm going to move her hair. Sorry. Now right behind, right on the bottom of her shoulder. Just do a big mark with chalk, just to make sure that you can see it as much as you can. And now I'm going to cut out the spots with chalk on them. Okay, now as you can see that I've cut nice big holes that her arms can fit through. I even tested it. Okay. Now I'm going to sew right around here into the hole. I will show you later, but I sewed the end on the wrong spot, so I'm gonna have to snip that off. Sorry. So what you should do is actually start from the hard part, just like what I did on this one, and end at this one so you can sew it on here properly. So, okay. So, I sewn, like you cannot use a sewing machine for this part. I sewn this together, make sure, like on the inside as you can see, like that. I sewed it to the outer edge of the hole, so now it's currently like this. And don't fret if your thing gets all messed up like that. You won't really notice it, because unless you're like a real big problem person, whatever. Okay, so now I am going to flip it inside out, or actually the normal way. And just this part is super hard. So, okay, now that it is turned back to every good side, now I am going to cut off a piece of a thick part of the rest of the whatever it's called. Fleece. Sorry. And if you don't have like an old robe or anything, then just like sew it, like fold it over and then sew it and then fold it over and then sew it again. So it'll be nice and thick. So I'm going to cut that off now. Okay, now that I've cut this nice thick part, make sure it's very nice and long so it can just tie around your doll's waist easily. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun crafting this. Rocks 9, 10, 11. Bye!